My dear colleagues, on behalf of the Language School, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all today at the presentation and to finally reveal the mystery that has been created by different numerous posts on the workplace about some new intriguing way of learning. So it is the moment that you all have been waiting for so long, and we will do our best not to disappoint you in any way, despite the novelty of this amazing project that we're now thinking of. So your support is extremely crucial for us. This support is exactly the source for our stream of creativity, our creative ideas, and this is something that helps us make your learning different. It helps us make your learning experience accessible and compelling. So in today's presentation, I will shed light on the kind of learning we want to offer. And the most importantly is the new courses that we have designed specially for you. So we would like to tell you a little bit more about ourselves. Those of you who have already taken courses with Language School are pretty much aware of the fact that we are not just a language school, right? So this is not about languages only. Well, leave it alone. The friendly atmosphere, wonderful teachers, chocolates and cookies, well, absolute fun. This is what it is all about. But besides that, we also do our best to keep up with the latest education trends to make learning very up to date and enjoyable for each of you. So we have come up with an idea that we decided to call the 3F approach. So what is it about? Now, the approach is about the three ideas, which are flexibility, freedom, and full access to materials. And these are the three ideas that actually make up the whole notion of blended learning, the thing that we are going to talk about in more detail today. You have to be aware of the fact that our initial goal was to be as responsive to your needs as possible. And I'm pretty sure that these three aspects are the ones that you have been struggling with now and then. Well, unfortunately, traditional learning has a big likelihood of taking you out of the workflow. Time is often an issue, and in a physical class environment, you might be either restricted to 1 or 2 hours of class, or simply the whole material cannot be put across within this limited amount of time. And this is why I would like for you to think of the scenarios that might have happened before or are something that you are facing now. Well, let's say you were either not able to fit the classes into your busy schedule, or you had to, or you were forced to skip a class, your favorite class, let's say, because of some unexpected meeting. Or you might have fathomed your ideal or most suitable course, like something that Language School hasn't offered yet. On the other hand, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of students, those loyal ones that have tried every other course Language School has on the list and are now feeling like a bit of a spicing up their education by learning something new in a different way. And to top it all, the materials that you are using sometimes are not really available. So, and then there is a fear of falling into a trap of missing out and not being able to keep up with what you missed, right? If you missed the class and you do not have the access to materials at your fingertips 24/7, then you might not know what has been covered before. So, like I said, these are the three aspects that make up the approach called blended learning. And before understanding why it works and what the benefits are, let us come up with some solid definition of what it actually is. So, what is blended learning? And one of the definitions says that it is the thoughtful integration of face-to-face and online experience. Now, the key word here is thoughtful, because the designers of courses, the teachers, your favorite teachers of language school, take a careful thought before compiling the courses and before making them work for you, making them efficient and taking into account your needs. So as opposed to a traditional classroom with 100% class time managed by a teacher, in a blended classroom, it can be from 40 to 60% time, which is managed by you, a student. So it offers online activities that say in otherwise to face-to-face classroom. But there is one very important thing that you should not forget, is that we're never going away from the face-to-face aspect of learning. So we do realize how important it is for you to share your experience, to practice speaking skills, and to simply see a teacher in person. Now, but it actually allows us to take advantage of those aspects that have been mentioned before. So there is flexibility, there is freedom, and the materials are accessible. Now, the next question, which is important to ask, is why blend? And here we decided to use a bit of a metaphor, and today it's going to be repeated again, and to compare blended learning with the Swiss cheese. Well, why not? And soon enough you will see that there is a bit of resemblance there. Now, blended learning, and education generally, is the process where students have gaps, right? So like cheese, it has gaps, they're all different, and different students learn different ways, and they might have gaps in certain grammar aspects, or they might have difficulties with listening, or they want to cover certain vocabulary. And at the same time, everyone starts in a different place. So like I said, well, teaching the same material in different methods might really be beneficial and cover the gaps and let everyone be more or less equal and catch up with the rest. All right. So another thing that I want you to have a look at is the adoption of blended learning approach into the American corporate learning. So in the US today, traditional employee training is revolutionized by flipped classroom, learner-centered approaches, different activities presented by a variety of online and mobile applications and platforms. So as we can see here, about 77% of companies have already adopted blended learning approach, either wholly or partially, and it has shown tremendous results, really great ones, by enhanced performance and vivid results in studying and achieving the goals. So another thing that we want to stress is that we're finally moving away from learning islands where the aspects you were studying were separated from one another. So these were just separate components, and now we are coming closer to an environment. In our case with SoftServe, it is represented by a platform called Cornerstone, which I think you might be already familiar with, and it serves as a certain vehicle where you are the driver. Now, you might be asking a question, so where's the teacher? Well, the teacher is still there, but the teacher doesn't serve as a tool of information. The teacher is the tool of inspiration now. And we are here to inspire you to explore more, to discover more on your own, at your own pace. We're also stressing here that the learning is not as much instructive based but interest based. So you are the one who goes along with your curiosity and is able to choose the course or the subject that you're most interested in. Now, so what are actually the benefits for a user, right? So how does it enhance user experience? So let us have a look at the blended learning benefits that justify why this approach actually works. And before coming up with the actual advantages, we did our best to adapt them to our language school environment. Now, the first thing that you need to remember is that it is you-focused. Now, despite the fact that we are exposed to so many different kinds of technology, it doesn't mean that it will in any way substitute a teacher. And technology is something that is simply integrated into the learning process, making it more engaging and making it more accessible, flexible for you. Right, now another great advantage is that you're able to choose instructors according to your liking. So not only instructors that are at your location, but also the ones in different cities. Maybe you want to learn something new. Starting at your own pace probably is the most crucial advantage of all, because everyone prefers their own pace, unlike in a physical classroom environment where you sometimes are not able to sometimes you actually have to be like everyone else, like you have to pretend that you maybe know something, or you sometimes feel like you are lowering your level, and if there is a student who knows a little bit less. So another important thing is when it is self-paced, it has been proven that it evokes more motivation, and this is exactly what we're aiming at, and we want you to be maximum motivated to take part in our courses. So, well, virtual learning tools are an undeniable part of any learning, of course, and I'm pretty sure that most of them are already the ones that ring the bell, and you have used them or have heard about them. Because teachers use them quite often. So we have Cornerstone as our main and major platform. Quizlet and Memrise are tools for learning vocabulary. Socrative, that would be like a poll or the game platform. Kahoot, a very extensive tool, and Google Classroom. Now, the feedback part is extremely crucial as well, and we all know that feedback is the sign that progress, the process, and the progress and the result are all aligned, and you're able to track where you are standing, what your path is, and how well you're doing your way, so how well it is assessed. Now the teacher is the one who is constantly providing you feedback. By, as you can imagine, quizzing and testing online actually lets us spare the valuable, not to waste the valuable time in the physical classroom, and be able to know at what level you are and what gaps there are that need to be covered. So, and the final important thing is that there is a variety of courses, or I would even say the explosion of content that we are now in the process of preparing. And the next point that I'm going to talk about, that is going to be a little bit of advertisement of the courses that we have prepared with all the warmth and love, especially for you. So, so what do we actually offer? What are the courses here? Now, again, want to emphasize the fact that this is exclusive offer. It hasn't been done before. Our teachers have done a tremendous job just to prepare something unique, something interesting, something that you will be really excited about. Now, the first course called Brain Games. And so this course gives your brain a workout by playing and watching fun games that sharpen your mind and improve your English. And I'm not going to elaborate more because you will find it out for yourself. After I finish the presentation, you will find out, you will expect the link with all the courses. You will be able to read more about them and choose whatever goes best with your liking. Now, the next course is called Baseball and Business. And you're probably aware of the fact that American English has been enriched by expressions derived from the game of baseball. So in this exact course, you will be able to penetrate into American culture, understand one of the most popular games, and of course have no problem communicating with native speakers from America on topics of the game, but also the business topics as well. All right, so now the next course here, well, it has a certain place in my heart. This course is called Delivering Happiness, and it is based on a bestseller by Tony Hsieh called Delivering Happiness. And the main idea is that happiness can be delivered, and companies can be built out of curiosity, and reading can lead to action. So having read that book, you will know what are the ways to make yourself feel happier, and hopefully you will. All right, the next one is video grammar course. So if you are already feeling a bit uneasy and maybe you consider grammar boring and you think, okay, let her skip, let her talk faster, I don't want to know about it. Well, you're probably one of those people who are dead sure that native speakers know nothing about third conditional, or they never use present perfect continuous. Well, we would like to persuade you in a totally different thing, because this course is based on the video parts, on the movie parts, where, well, what can be more authentic than that? Where you will hear the examples of certain grammar rules used. Extremely entertaining grammar course. Now, another one is business skills. Well, as you can guess, this one is more focused on business vocabulary, but targeting pre-intermediate, intermediate students. Each part is based on a listening track and is aimed at picking up some new vocabulary, as well as, of course, discussing that during face-to-face sessions, which are, again, and the main part, a very important part of any course. Yeah, another great course is English Through Stories, and again, it is based on, it is targeting again pre-intermediate, intermediate learners who want to enhance their listening and speaking skills. The students are provided with different original listening tracks on various topics. And of course, there is a number of exercises. So again, a range of classroom activities, and all is specially designed to develop your speaking skills. So the next course is a very different one that stands out. It is aiming pronunciation. So it is called Sound Confident in English. And this course, you will be able to practice tongue twisters, sing songs, and of course get involved in some role games by actually leaving your comfort zone. If you are interested, just apply for this one. Now, the Common English Mistakes course helps you be aware of the mistakes that are commonly made by speakers of Slavic languages. It is going to be backed by a video and a native speaker explaining the mistakes that you should try to avoid. And hopefully by the end of the course, you will never ever say again, I feel myself good. All right. Okay. The next course is a German one. Now, of course, we couldn't be that, we should be quite PC, politically correct towards all the languages in our language school. And we couldn't let ourselves leave German language aside. So, there are more courses that are being developed at the moment, but two of them are ready. The first one is Ausbildung und Tätigkeit in Deutschland. Excuse my German pronunciation, but the idea is that it focuses on education and work activities in Germany, of course together with the by reading texts, and this is active reading where you will be able not only to enrich your vocabulary but also immerse into German culture through texts. And one more German course is called Perfekt muss perfekt sein, which is a revision and consolidation of perfect tense, also supported by face-to-face sessions. So the advertisement time is over. And we are moving on to the last part, the question, so what do you do next? And the first thing that we would like to encourage you to do is to embrace the change. Changes are hard, and if we resist them, then we are making it even harder, right? So the more resistance, the less learning. How about, well, our suggestion is to try it out together with us, because this is something new for us as well, and see how that works. I would also like to tell you one more idea, which says that if you do not change, you become extinct. Now, changes in today's world, and especially the changing face of education from offline to online, are something that cannot be denied, right? It is there. It already exists. And saying that it's not something for you wouldn't make it easier. There is one more thing I want to tell you about, is that this whole cheese thing, this whole cheese idea was taken from a book called Who Moved My Cheese? And I would really recommend you to read it. But if you feel bored by reading a book on your own, guess what? We're going to have a course based on this book. The book is actually about changes, about the changes that make us intimidated, the changes that make us terrified, and something that we tend to resist almost every day, because doing pretty much the same things makes us comfortable. So how about we all leave the comfort zone and try something different for some period of time, exchange feedback, and see how that works. And the last thing that I would like to finish with are the 3 steps that can make it happen and can make blended learning enjoyable. The first one, we would like to expect you the link to the cornerstone with the list of courses. The second one, choose the course you like. So you are given a pretty good, decent variety. There will be more. We are now working on creating more courses. And then give us your feedback, because that's the most valuable part for us. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for your attention. So let us try to embrace the change and do something different. Thank you.